Well, hi everyone. My name is Andy Greenberg, and right next to me is,
Carol Greenberg.
and we're going to have some fun. You know what we're going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about say goodbye to your money. No, this is not financial counseling. It is not financial investment. It really is how your mind is being taken over. Yes, it's being taken over
By
when you
who?
go, wait, by who? When you go shopping. You think you're in control. You think you bring a shopping list. You think you're not going to do any impulse buying. I got to tell you something. The odds are against you. As a matter of fact, you might not know this, but when somebody goes to the supermarket, do you have any idea how much they spend on impulse shopping, which means they buy things that they had no intentions that was never on the shopping list? Any idea how much percentage that is?
20%.
20%. Anybody think it's higher than that? Listen to this. 60%.
Wow.
When you go to the supermarket, they got you. Now, as a matter of fact, you know what else? You think you get bargains? You think you pay for the best price possible? You have no
Not true?
idea. You're going to pay more than you ever thought possible. And you know what? You have no control. It's not your fault. You are being manipulated. Carol, this is not a conspiracy theory.
It's not.
No, it isn't. This is all true. And by the time we're done, you're going to say to yourself, oh my gosh, I had no idea. By the way, this is totally unrehearsed. Carol and I do not have a script. Of course, I have information. So she is here to act as if she was you because we can't make this interactive. I wish I could take some of your questions. I can't. She might be able to anticipate what they are. So here we go. Hold on to your money because one thing I do want to be able to teach you, and by the way, just to be very cautious, I have nothing to sell. There's no website I'm trying to get you to or anything along those lines. This is just a discussion about the facts as they are. Well, let's begin. Let's go back maybe about 20 years ago. Carol, when you went out for a cup of coffee 20 years ago, about how much did you pay for a cup of coffee?
20 years ago? Under a dollar?
Under $1. Did you ever think you would graciously hand over $4 for a cup
No,
of coffee?
I didn't.
But don't you go out looking, what do you
Yes.
look for?
Go to Starbucks.
Go to Starbucks.
Look for specialty coffee even.
I'm just
And
talking
that's
about
even more
I'm
money.
just talking about the regular
Oh,
coffee.
okay.
Carol, why on earth would you and me spend $4 for a cup of coffee? Why?
Tastes good. It's more, I've heard it over and over. Starbucks is best coffee, etc., etc. Maybe?
No,
No, that's
no,
not the reason?
no.
Okay.
It's the atmosphere. Ah,
Ah.
it's the Starbucks brand and the atmosphere. The going in there, the casualness, the social, even though many of us take it out, but we still believe in our mind we are sitting there so casual, having a cup of coffee
And having an outlet to plug in your
and having an
computer
outlet to
and
plug in
picking your
your
book and
computer.
sitting around and relaxing.
Right. Now, you think I'm crazy? Listen to this very carefully. Would you ever, you talked about taste, right?
Yeah.
All right. What would happen if McDonald's had the same tasting coffee? Would you pay them $4?
No.
No, of course not. Dunkin' Donuts, if Dunkin' Donuts had the same type of coffee, would you pay them $4 to sit in that Dunkin' Donuts donut shop?
No.
No. There it is. You have no control, do you? You run for that Starbucks. You see a Dunkin' Donuts, no, you're going to drive extra further.
One of Dunkin' Donuts is pretty good,
Yeah,
but it doesn't have
but
any beer.
you wouldn't pay $4.
No.
And the Dunkin' Donuts coffee is cheaper than $4 because there we go. Example number one. Let me give you example number two. Example number two, the price of gas. Yes, the price of gas. Let's assume for a moment there are four corners. Each corner has a gas station. And let's assume, for example, you just drove for an hour and a half.
Right.
Hour and a half you drove. All right, you need gas.
Right.
Would you ever pay more for a gallon of gas?
I think you look for the cheaper prices.
Yes, you look for the cheapest price. Everybody will say that. No, I'm never going to spend more money for gas. Yeah, I'll buy the off brand. I don't care if it's that Shell or whatever brand is finally left over. Whatever the cheapest price is. But you know what?
What?
You are wrong. I bet you I can get you to pay 10, maybe 15 cents more for a gallon of gas.
And how would you do that?
How would I do that? How do you think I would do that? Watch this. especially during these times. If I put up a sign, and I had to make sure the sign actually was going to tell what I'm really going to do. If I was to put up a sign and says, bathrooms sanitized and cleaned every hour, and you just came off an hour and a half,
I would go.
and you know what's going on with all the diseases, shame, wouldn't you go for that 15 cents
I
more?
would.
Yes. Have you? Well, we don't drive much.
Now we don't go out.
Of course. Look at just one sign. Why? Because in these times, you want to make sure that you are in a safe environment. Is this fact or fiction? Guess what? It is fact. So all of a sudden, in about 2 minutes, I got you to change your mind, didn't I? That you actually would pay more for products than you ever thought in your mind. It's unbelievable what we do. So let's kind of examine how we shop and why we shop and what attracts us to buy more products. Number one, it has to do with the shopping center. Number two, it has to do with exactly what you're looking for. I'll give you an example. What's the difference between the way men and women shop for clothing? Evan, you're a woman. How do you shop?
I shop for something I like.
Okay, and when you go into the dressing room, how many items do you normally take?
I bring a lot.
You bring a lot.
As much as if it says 8 items allowed, I'll bring 8
You
items.
bring 8 items. Now, out of those 8 items, how many are you going to buy?
Maybe I'll buy 5 or 6.
That's a pretty high percentage.
Depends if they fit me and I like them. Why
Yeah,
not?
but you're going to bring now, men. Let me ask you this question, men. Just between you and me, women, don't listen. Just between me and you. Let me ask you this question: when you go to the shopping mall or a place to buy men's clothing, how many pair of slacks do you bring in to try on? You don't know.
I don't know.
1, 2, maybe. And you know the only thing that's important? If they fit. They know that if they fit, you 75% of the time will buy those slacks. They know for a woman, the more she takes in, the more she's going to buy. Have you ever walked into a place and gotten 6 pair of slacks and into the trying room? No. And guess what? When you went shopping, how many different blouses or skirts, whichever category it is, were you looking for?
How many different categories?
Now, in other words, if you wanted a blouse or you wanted a skirt or a pair of slacks, did you go in thinking, I want to buy 6 pair of slacks today?
No.
Nope. There it is. Impulse shopping. They got you, Carol.
But if I found a pair of slacks and they fit, I might buy 5 in a different color.
Wow.
So that's
Now, would a man do that? No. Watch this, folks. You probably never knew this. They studied you and me so closely. Here's the thing. If a woman goes shopping by herself, will she buy more clothing as if she was shopping with her husband or man friend?
She would.
Buy more which way?
More if she's shopping by herself.
Yes, why is that?
You don't need this, you don't need that. What are you getting that for?
So what do stores do to make sure that the man does not interfere with the woman's buying habit?
They give him a place to sit down.
Give him now, just sit, or what do you mean just sit?
Give him a place to sit down and look at his phone or something.
And magazines to read in many cases. Why they want to distract you. And when you're distracted, woman, what do?
Put more stuff in our
Put more stuff. Now, man, let me ask you a question. Just tell me, you got a good relationship with the woman you're seeing or the woman you're married, and she comes out with 5 or 6 things. How many times are you going to tell her it's too many items? No, especially if you've been in a relaxed state. But if you're nervous, you got someplace to go. By the way, have you ever seen a shopping place where you try clothing on that had a clock nearby?
No clock.
No clocks. No. Why no clocks?
They don't want you to see the time.
They don't want you to see that. Have you ever seen a clock in a shopping store? No. You know why?
I'm thinking about that.
No, they don't want you to know how long you spend in there, because the longer you spend in a store, guess what?
The more
you spend, the more you buy. Now, watch this. Will you buy more clothing alone or when you're with a girlfriend?
Probably with a friend.
Yes, with a friend. Absolutely. You're going to compete against each other. And
you're going to say, oh, that looks good. you should get that.
Exactly correct. See, you didn't know that? This is what they do to you. Now, sometimes they try and separate the man from the woman altogether. For example, there's a store called Ross's Dress for Less. Okay? Right. Now, when you walk into the store, there's a whole bunch of rows of chairs for men to sit. Men, you don't even get a chance to go to the dressing room. You're going to sit there, and they're so strategically located. Why? They're right in front of the register, and it's right by the door when people come in. Men,
And it's far away
right,
from the dressing
I don't want you to
area.
listen for right now. Men, when you're alone and women come in to shop, what do you normally do? Don't answer. You look at the women, and they strategically place you there. By the way, they don't really want you in the dressing room. Why? Because maybe some other women are shopping and they feel uncomfortable with a strange man sitting right outside the the dressing room. So they will do whatever they can to move you. Did you ever have any idea that that happens?
No,
I'll give you
never.
another example. Have you ever done this, ladies? Have you ever said you called up a girlfriend or a sister or a relative, doesn't matter, and said, hey, well, let's go shopping. I'm in the mood for a new blouse.
Yeah, lots of times. Hey, you want to go shopping? Want to go to the mall?
You bet.
Yeah.
Hey, man, let me ask you a question. Have you ever called a man friend? Well, what do they call him? A bro? I don't even know what you call him anymore. Have you ever called a male
A
friend? Hey, you
buddy?
know what, Joe? I got nothing to do. Let's go shopping.
I don't think so.
No. And therefore, who spends more money in the stores? The
Women.
women. Did you know any of that stuff? You can't even help what's going on. Here's something else. Watch this. The faster you walk, do you buy more or less?
Less, because you're going too fast.
Yeah. So do you think stores are going to let you walk fast?
How are they going to stop you?
What? First of all, do you think they will let you
No,
walk fast?
no.
No. They have what's known, watch this, as decompression zones. Now, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
The moment you walk into a store, even though you're in a rush, you want to go here, you want to go to this department, blah, blah, blah. They strategically put things there to slow you down. As an example, for those that came from New York originally, you would go into a department store, there'd be a revolving door. Do you go through a revolving door quickly? Yes, because you don't want to be trapped. Therefore, there's no more revolving doors because if you go in quick, you're going to go right away. Now they got these doors. By the way, do the doors open slowly or fast?
Slowly.
Why? Now, you might think, all right, open up. You're on my nerves. They want you to go ahead and walk into the store slower. And what they have there on display when you first come in, crazy stuff. Sweaters. And why a sweater? A sweater makes you feel warm. When you feel warm, do you rush or do you slow down? Yes, slow down. Let's take Publix, for example.
Who?
Publix.
Public.
Publix. Now, where you are, maybe there's a Publix or
Oh,
rather
there's a Public every mile.
every month. It's very good. She's right. So, by the way, where are the shopping carts? In a room on its own. When you go into Trader Joe, do you go right into the store or is there a lobby? There's a lobby. Why is that lobby there? I don't know what they call it, but it's really called a decompression zone. Next, when you're in
And you know what? Now that I think about it, in that decompression zone in Trader Joe's, that's where they keep the flowers when you walk in. The flowers and the succulents.
Very good, yeah. What do you do? Stop and smell the rose? You slow down. Oh, that wonderful fragrance. You slow down, right? And then what do? Watch this. They put the fruit department by Trader Joe's. I'll tell you about other stores in a moment. And what do you do with the fruit? You
Smell it,
feel
you
it,
feel
you
it, you touch
smell it, you slow down. You might be going in for a can of peas, but you go right. No, you got to slow down. All of a sudden, you start buying more. And for the public stores, man, they're brilliant. Watch this. 90% of the people today, are they right-handed or left-handed, Carol?
Right-handed.
And listen to this, when you go into a store, be it a department store or anything else, what direction do you normally go in, even if you're a lefty? Even if you know where your stuff is,
To the
you
right.
go to the right. So let's take Publix for a moment. What's the first thing on the right? Aha, flowers. Now, do you buy the flowers all the time? No. But what do the flowers do subconsciously? Slow you down. What's the next place you go to? The bakery department. And then what happens? Oh, that beautiful aroma, that wonderful smell. Hey, and all of a sudden, what do? Unless your doctor tells you not to. All of a sudden, you've got yourself this magnificent pie, a piece of bread, a loaf of bread, whatever. You never had it on your list to begin with. And then what's next? The
The
deli department. And by the way, what happens in the deli department? You have to wait on line,
line.
which slows you
Yeah.
down.
Well, yeah, it slows you down, but they don't have that many people to wait on you, so you get a number and you.
Yeah, you wonder why they don't have as many people waiting on you?
So they can slow you down.
So they can slow you down. Now you're getting it, Carol. You got it. By the way, you know when you go into a store and you hate it when somebody says to you, "Hi, can I help you?"
Yeah.
They hate that, right? First of all, they do it wrong, okay? Because what they should do is they're supposed to wait 1 minute. You got to be walking around 1 minute aimlessly. They have to let you do that. Then the person goes over. I don't like the line. Can I help you? There's other lines they can use. But here, listen to this. The moment you make contact with a store representative, the statistics say you will spend 25% more money. You will buy 25% more because you're in that store talking to somebody. You have lost control. And I've only begun. Remember what I said? Say goodbye to your money. And we know better. We know better. So here's something else that's interesting. Ladies, when you shop, how many hands do you shop with?
2 hands? 1 hand?
Okay, so what do you do with your pocketbook or your bag?
Yeah, you're holding it.
You're holding it. So how many?
Unless you have a crossbody bag.
Some do, some don't. Okay, the more
Well,
senior.
you're holding it. Actually, you're right. You're holding it, or you're holding your phone for some reason. Somebody's always holding something.
Exactly right. So how many hands do you shop with?
One.
How many hands would they like you to shop with?
I don't know.
2. When you're pushing a cart, how many hands do you shop with? 2.
You need 2.
Yeah, you push. No, I never seen anybody one-hand pusher. Have you? No. Now, when you go into stores and they don't have a shopping cart, basically drugstores like CVS, Walgreens, and others, who's also famous for that, Kohl's. So what do? You have a what? Basket.
A basket.
By the way, is that a small basket?
No, it's a big
No.
basket.
Even if you go in to buy one thing, are you going to just put one thing in that basket? No. Says, the science of shopping says, you're going to put as much in that basket so it looks like you're not being cheap. And there goes that impulse buying again. And talk about slowing you down. I forgot to mention something. What kind of music is playing in the background in many stores that you shop, except for teenagers?
Relaxing music.
Relaxing, da, 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 da. Nice and slow. Why nice and slow?
So you don't rush around.
Because you don't rush around. All this controls your mind. Money that has been taken away from your pocket and you had absolutely no idea. Well, let's find out about one thing that actually makes you say, I don't want to shop in this store. What's the one thing you hate in stores?
Clutter.
Clutter, in addition to that. Well, before anybody grew up in New York? Yeah, you did. I knew that. You did too, right? Now, you shopped at Alexander's.
Yeah.
Alexander's was full of clutter.
Right.
All right, so
But
don't give me
Alex,
clutter. Don't give me clutter.
all right. I'm not sure.
You hate it. You might even have a basket full of stuff that you shopped 15 minutes for, but then all of a sudden you see it, you drop your basket.
The big line.
The
If there's a
big
line, I'm out of there.
You're out of there.
Out of there.
You're now
I have
alone.
no patience to wait
You're
on
now
the
alone.
line. Oh.
The bigger the line, the less likely you are to shop there. So what do people do? Listen to this. First of all, Best Buy. Ever shop at Best Buy?
Mhm.
You know what? They hid the line,
Why?
so you don't see it.
Oh.
In
Oh,
other
the
words,
line is
yeah.
all the way over there.
Yeah, they put a wall up, so you got to go around the corner to see the line. And by the way, if you just happen to be online, are you just standing there aimlessly?
No, because they put stuff there.
They put stuff there. Do you buy the stuff? Yeah, maybe not. Do you look at the stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it make time go faster?
Yeah.
Yes. When you go to supermarkets and you're online, do they have the magazines?
Yeah. They have the candies and the gum.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Now, some of that stuff you buy. Do you buy a lot of it?
No.
No. What do? You look at it. Therefore, the line doesn't look all that bad. So guess what?
What?
You lost control. Again. So, Carol, so far, how do you feel about everything that's been told to you so far?
Mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling to think that someone's controlling me.
Yes. Yes. And when you walk into the right side of the store, by the way, that's where you find usually the more expensive items. Now, I know most of you know this, but when you go into a CVS or a Walgreens and you want to get a prescription, Publix works a little bit differently, which is odd.
Yes, it's all the way in the
Although,
back of the store. They
yeah,
make you walk through everything to get to the pharmacy.
you betcha. And when you walk through the pharmacy and then to the pharmacy and you happen to be carrying a basket, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna put, oh, I think I need that. Oh, I think I need that.
Yes, absolutely. And all this is being taken away from you. Now, let's talk about color for a moment. Can color affect the way a person buys?
Absolutely.
Give me an example. For example.
I think that if you have some colors like blue and green, they're very calming in a store. If you have bright colors, you might be overwhelmed.
How about the color pink?
Pink. I don't particularly care for pink, so
Watch
let me
this.
know about pink.
Watch this. There's a very famous story. This is all true. Very famous story of a bank. It wasn't in the United States. That they just couldn't get people in the door. And the interest rates were the same. Their name was good. There was nothing. They didn't have a bad reputation. They couldn't get people in. So they hired a consultant. And the consultant said to them, paint the inside of your building in the color pink.
You mean the walls?
Yeah, pink.
Okay. And what happened?
What do you think?
Well, you're going to tell me that people came.
Why would they
I
come for
don't
the color
know.
pink? Do you
What
have any idea why they came with the color pink? This is a phenomenal thing. Why did they come for the color
I
pink?
do not know.
What relationship is there between the color pink and money? Anybody know? When you were kids and you put money into the piggy bank, what color was
Oh,
the bank that you
pink.
put the pink?
Pink.
Subliminally, they got you. It reminded you of
Wow.
secure savings. And what happened? Don't believe me, look it up. People flocked to the bank. It was uncontrollable.
Like they're putting money in a piggy
Like
bank.
they're putting money in a piggy bank.
Wow.
Amazing. Let's talk about the color black. The color black is a luxurious color. For example, if anybody owns a luxury car, over 90% of all luxury cars are in the color black. A tuxedo is black. Woman's evening gown is normally black. You can't always say always. Is normally black. Okay? But here's interesting. Listen to this. When you go to Kohl's and they give you the wagon or the basket,
It's black.
it's black. Why do you think it's black?
Because they don't want you to see what's inside. It's hard to see. I don't know. Why is it black?
Because it makes the products that you look at in the store makes it look a little bit more luxurious. And by the way, is Kohl's really a cheaper place to buy?
I don't know. I don't shop there that
No.
often.
I'm not saying their prices are any better than anybody else's, but they sell it based on the blackness. Don't believe me, just look it up. They sell it based on the blackness of the shopping cart because you perceive you're getting a quality product, and which you are. And when you get a quality product, what do you tend to do with pricing? You tend to pay more. Don't believe me? Uh-huh. Take a look at any company that's been around for years and survived. Do they have the highest prices or the lowest prices? Now, I know what you're going to tell me. Look at Walmart. You can save a whole lot of money there. Yes, you can. But at the end of the day, it's been proven that you will pay more for those groceries as a total than anything else, than most other stores who are still in business, because of the fact that you have a couple of lost leaders. You think you're getting a tremendous buy, but you're really not. For example, let's take Publix again. Okay, it is one of the best supermarkets in the country. Let's take Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's. Do you go there for bargains?
No, you go there because they have unique food.
Yeah, and are you willing to pay more money for the unique food?
Yeah.
What about Whole Foods? Aha! Publix never advertises we got the cheapest prices. By the way, those supermarkets for years and years and years that said, buy for me, I'm cheap, 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 cheap. Are they still in business?
No.
No, no, they're not. And the higher the pricing, believe it or not, the more profitability, the better quality you think you're going to get, and the better quality that you do get. And all these things really prove effectiveness. Let me give you something else if you haven't had enough. Ever go to a department store? You betcha. You see mirrors there? Why?
Only in the dressing room.
Yeah. No.
You see mirrors there?
Yeah, not only in the dressing room, also there.
Yeah.
Why do you see mirrors? What do you think?
So you can look at yourself.
Yes. And how do you, when you look at yourself, you say, boy, I look good. Ah, there's something else that's going to make me look better. Aha, I don't look all that good. Let me buy something that makes me look good. It's true.
Yes, but you sometimes they might be placing the mirror there because they want maybe they want to get you before you even get to the dressing room.
Uh-huh.
Because you're like, I don't know if I want to go to the dressing room, so you hold it up and you try it on and you go, oh, I think I'll try this on.
You bet you. You bet you. But what else is subliminal about the mirror? I want you to think back what we talked about earlier. If you're looking in the mirror, are you doing it quickly or slowly? You're doing it slowly. So even if you're at a fast pace, like the way I'm talking right now, if you slow down, what's going to happen? You are going to buy more than you ever thought you would. So here's another one. Ever go into McDonald's or Burger King and you say to yourself, I'm going to have a salad. I want a salad. Yeah. And they get you there because health salad's a wonderful thing. How often do you actually end up eating that salad?
No, you're gonna say, oh look, that Big Mac looks good. Oh, that fish sandwich. Oh, I think I'll have some chicken things.
Nothing to do with how it looks.
Nothing to do with how it looks, but
Nope.
you're seeing the stuff on there.
Oh yeah.
So?
But what about the other sense? The sense
smell,
of
the smell.
smell. They get you with the sense of smell. Smell controls what you buy and what you think. You know that for perfume. You know that from airlines. Airlines spray, Singapore is very famous for this. Airlines put aromatherapy, believe it or not, in long flights, as well as many other places that you have absolutely no idea that that is going on. So when you walk in there, you have absolutely no idea that you are being taken over by a sense of smell, which is getting you to order that hamburger or fish, nor the magnificent French fries.
Oh,
yes, even though that was the furthest thing from your mind. But that is exactly what happens. And then, of course, let's go back to the supermarket, because here you have no control. I'm sorry, you got no control. Why? Listen to this. Number one, the items that cost the most money and they make more profit at, you are actually looking at what they call the bullseye. What does that mean? The average height, you're looking at the shelf, you're going to pick it up. But have you ever gone to a store? Watch this. Have you ever gone to a store, looked at a particular brand, and then ended up buying something right next to it? Answer is yes. And what they've done is they put different products that they make more money on that had unique brand names, that had these secret formulas in there, made with XM5-3, made with 5000S, whatever it is. Do you have any idea what that is? No. Does it sound mystique? Yes. Does it sound better than plain Jane Dasani water that just has water from the spring coming from the rock? Yes. It has been proven. And here's what happened. This is interesting. Somebody came out with a product one time, and I forgot the name of it, and there was a disgruntled employee. All right. So what does the disgruntled employee do? This is what they do. They go ahead and put on the label, made with secret formula X53, whatever. Just work with me on that. Okay, it goes to market, sells like crazy. Management finds out about it. They find out about it. Aha. And then what do? They take it off. People called up and complained. Why did you take my secret formula away? That's the only reason I bought it from you. I know it helps. I think it was a shampoo. I know it helps with my hair and the whole 9 yards. Please put it back. We are attracted to that stuff like crazy. They ran an experiment one time. I know I'm shifting back and forth. They ran that experiment. Here's what happened one time. This was crazy. They were trying to sell milk. Milk. Okay. And at the same time, they know that sometimes people have milk with chocolate. Okay. So they put a chocolate smell in a bus stop. Okay. And the sign said, what did the sign say? Get milk or have milk or whatever, the old stuff, right? So in particular places where people are waiting for buses, they put in the sense of chocolate smell. There wasn't a chocolate anywhere. They had to take it down.
Why?
Why, you ask?
People were looking for milk?
No, they got a lot of milk. No,
I
that
don't
did
know
work.
why they had to take
Because
it.
people complained that their chocolate allergies were acting up.
Wow. And that was only a smell.
There was only a smell. There was no chocolate anywhere. So again, just to give you some of the highlights of this stuff, it is unbelievable how you are being attacked and you have absolutely no idea. Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Are you having fun so far? Listen to this, it gets better. Underwear.
Underwear.
Why do people buy underwear?
You should be wearing underwear. They buy them for a lot of reasons. They buy them to make them feel good. They buy them because they're necessary. And they buy them to attract other people, other sex.
Wait, sex?
Sex.
Sex? Is it okay if I talk about sex? I'll be very delicate. She's absolutely right. People buy underwear for two reasons. Number one, they have to. Number two, for sex. What does that mean? Men too. Watch this. Men, you're not out of this picture. When you buy underwear, notice the model that is wearing the underwear. Okay? Skinny, muscular. Any woman would want the man who is pictured there, or on the other hand, any other man would want the man pictured there. It's very appropriate to say. So therefore, you look at So therefore, you look at that and you say, "Wow, that could be me." No offense, men, but how many of us look like that model? How many of us want our woman or male lover to believe that we look like that model? You betcha. That's why they put that person there. You buy that underwear because you have to and because of sex. You want to have your lover imagine you standing there just like that. Women, you are the same way. Do you know how much money Victoria's Secrets makes? Do you know how big the lingerie market is? Do you think people buy that just for the sake of because they have to? No. They want to look good. They want to attract a sexual partner. Yes.
Right, but they want to feel good and wearing that underwear makes you feel good.
Yes, it does. Very good. It's got an intrinsic value to it. Now, are you going to pay more for that?
Yes.
You betcha. You think Victoria's Secrets is cheap? You think lingerie is cheap? You
No.
think fancy underwear is cheap? No. There you go again, spending more money to create and to capture an image that is so important for you. You never realized all this stuff, did you? That's why I keep on saying, please say goodbye to your money. Let's take a look at some other things that are interesting. Remember earlier we talked about coffee? I want you to imagine this. You're driving a Lexus, you're driving a BMW, you're driving a luxury car, any luxury car, you name it, okay?
Mhm.
And it's time for a cup of coffee. And let's say, like we talked about earlier, there is no Starbucks around, and there is a McDonald's. Would you go into the McDonald's to get a cup of coffee?
No, you probably drive by and get it.
Aha.
Drive through.
But what happens if you want to take a break? What happens if you're driving for an hour and a half and you want a break?
Drink it and drink it
Where?
in your car.
Yes. Why don't you get out of your car?
You don't want to go to McDonald's.
Because
You don't want to be seen there.
Yeah.
You have a luxury car. Why are you going to McDonald's?
Exactly right. So the way these McDonald's and Burger Kings and the other places who sell good coffee get you
Yeah.
is what they do is they make sure when you drive by you can see the parking lot. Because it has been proven if you can't see the parking lot, you will not stop there. If you see now, that's assuming you're not going to continue driving for a while and you've got to take a break, make some phone calls. If the more they show the parking lot, the more chances you're going to buy a cup of coffee. How about that? Now, there are different types of buyers. There are different types of people. There are different types of ways that people actually buy. One of them is the hunter. Who's the hunter?
The person on a mission.
What
I don't know. They're looking.
gender?
They're looking.
What gender?
Well, obviously, the man.
The man. Why? We want one thing. Give me that one thing. Get me the heck out of there. Okay? And who, in fact, is the browser, or actually known as the gatherer?
It's the woman.
It's the woman. Now, watch this. Men, do you like going to supermarkets with your wife or female partner shopping? Do you?
With my male partner.
Does your male partner really like to go?
Not
Do I
really.
get up in the morning? Hey, Carol, let's
No.
go to the supermarket. No, but
No.
I'm going to take you anyway, right? Guys, you're the same way. Watch this phenomenon. You are there. You are with your female companion, assuming you live together, and you're walking around and you're shopping, and you get to the cash register. Who pays?
You do.
Man, isn't that funny? You hate shopping, but guess who's the one that pays? You pay. Why do you pay? It gives you a feeling of what?
Power.
Power, macho. You know what else gives you a feeling of power and macho? You won't believe this. Paper towels.
Paper towel.
Paper towels.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for both of you. If there were 3 paper towels, okay, one was nicely priced. When I'm saying nicely priced, cheaper than the rest. But from the outside, they all look the same. In other words, they pick up the dirt, the moisture, whatever. They all look the same. Now watch this very carefully. There are 3 brand names. The least expensive one is called Daisy paper towels.
A feminine paper towel.
The other one is called Brawny paper towels. Okay? And the other one is called Bold paper towels. Men, are you going to pay more for the non-Daisy one? Are you going to pay more for the Brawny? Are you going to pay more for the Bold? By the way, the Brawny has a guy, a lumberjack with a checkered shirt on there. You going to pay more for that? You bet you are. Now, some of you guys are saying, no, believe me, most of us do. Why? We don't want to bring Daisy home, and we're going to pay more for Brawny. We don't want to be seen walking through the store with Daisy paper towels. Now, you think that's only for the men? Now, you said the female, right? I'm not making this up. I'm not making it up. The woman will buy the Brawny at a higher price because she could get her hands fictitiously and fantasizingly with that lumberjack, the strong, macho guy who's got the axe and who knows how to chop trees down. That is one of their fascinating lovers. And every time they touch that paper towel, who do they think of? Mr. Brawny. You disagree?
Maybe a little bit. Because the Brawny could symbolize the fact that the paper towel is tougher.
All right. That's part of it. But that's part of it. I'll agree with that.
It's more virtuous.
That is possible. It is more virtual. I absolutely agree with you. But let's go back to the shopping. Here's another one that's going to surprise you, folks. Who buys the 12-pack of beer versus the 6-pack of beer? Ready for this? You might think, but you're going to be wrong, that the 12-pack is bought by the male and the 6-pack by the woman. Wrong! The 6-pack is purchased by the male. The 12-pack is purchased by the female. Yes. Why?
Why?
The man buys it for himself. The woman buys it for a party.
Wow.
Yep. And therefore, the 12-pack has a little bit of femininity added to it. So subtle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so subtle because they know that the woman buys the 12-pack. But here's something interesting. Men, how many of us like to cook?
Not many.
Not
we
many.
have some, but not many.
Sure, but man, let me ask you something. You put a barbecue in front of a man. Will he cook?
Yeah.
You
know he will grill.
He will grill. Okay, he'll make a meal. And he is so proud of it.
He will grill.
Oh my, he will grill those hamburgers, the hot dogs, the steaks, the filet mignon, whatever you put on there, and the condiments on the side. It's the man's grill. But go inside the house, and the wife might say, honey, you want to cook some hamburgers? What are you going to say? No, I'm busy. I got to do something. You talk about spending more money for a barbecue? Come on, guys. How many of us used to spend a lot of money on barbecues? You don't believe me? Here's something else. Men, how often have you said to your friends, come on over to my house. I'm going to put some hamburger on the oven in my house, and I'm going to cook some vegetables. Come over, I'll make you dinner. Zappo. Men, how often have you called your fellow men and said, come over to the house, I'm going to barbecue. It's like nothing you've ever had in your life before. What are you going to say, men? Of course, come on over.
Barbecuing.
We are barbecuing. It is a manly thing to do. Come and look at this grill that I just paid $500-600 for. You have no idea. By the way, you know the difference between being rich and being average?
No.
The rich man will always boast about how much they paid for something. The average person will talk about how much they saved. Now, that goes into another important thing. Men, why do you buy jewelry for your spouse?
Because you did something wrong.
Really?
Or you want to make them happy and you go out and get something.
Number one answer. This is true. I don't make this stuff up. So she lets you back in the house, which means you did something wrong. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think that you really want to save money? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm seeing you go like that, right? Yeah. When was the last time you sat down and clipped coupons? Have we stopped clipping coupons? Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to save a lot of money? I bet you're paying more for groceries now than you ever have in your lifetime, and you're happy to do that for those that buy through Instacart.
Well, it's a necessity now.
Yeah, but you don't mind paying.
Because
You ever argue with the guy?
no, there's nothing to argue. You're ordering online. There's nothing to argue with. There's nobody to argue with.
Because you're willing to pay it.
Yeah,
Not only are you... Go
you
ahead.
want the convenience and because you want to be safe.
Yeah, so don't tell me that you buy the cheapest price, because there it is. You don't. Not only do you pay more for the groceries, you know what else you pay for? The convenience of getting it delivered.
Yeah.
But you know what kind of fools we are?
What kind of fool are we?
We are fools.
Fools?
Fools. Unbelievable. Listen to this. Costco. Costco wholesale. We pay Costco for the right to shop. Don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Sure, I'll give you $100.
It's called a membership.
You're a member.
And they have different levels.
There's different levels. My God, I don't want to be the cheap. I got to be the executive level. I got to pay more for the executive level. Oh my God. And the thrill I get, I walk in.
But wait. If supposedly the more you spend, you get back your money, which goes toward paying for your membership.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine. But you know what there really is? Yeah, right. So here you go. I don't have it with me. I should have. I apologize. So what do you do when you go into a Costco? You flash your membership card. Oh, look at me! I'm so exclusive. I paid you $100 for the
You don't
benefit of
flash it for that.
You
You
flash.
flash it because you can't. The only way you can get in.
Are you complaining that you paid $100? No, I had to pay $100 to go shopping. It's stupid. Not only that, look how much you spend. Oh my God, you got a year fortune. If you walk out of there with less than $300, come talk to me. I want to know how you do it. Not only that, listen to this. This is it's crazy. Listen to this. And they prove this. Listen. In one store, they had one item for $5. Same item in another store, 5 for $25. What do you think people bought?
I guess 5 for 25.
5 for $25?
Sounds like a big steal.
Oh my God! Now, did they give you a price break? No. 5 for. Do you need all 5?
5.
No, you don't need all 5, do you? Do you need all that stuff you get at Costco? No. By the way, how do they slow you down at Costco? This is brilliant. How do they slow you?
They slow you down with samples.
Very good.
They feed you and they slow you down with things that you stop and you look and you taste it and you go, oh, I think I'll get that.
Yeah, how we doing so far, guys and gals? Telling you exactly how much money you're spending all the time.
Say goodbye to your money.
Say goodbye to your money. You had no idea that this was going on. It is absolutely crazy what's going on in your life. You had no idea. How many of you get up in the morning and say, hey, I want to go out and buy some socks?
Not many.
How many of you get up in the morning and say, hey, I need some shoes? This is for the guys. The answer is, oh, yeah, I'll get a pair of shoes. How many times have you bought a pair of shoes and come home with more socks than you bought shoes? Why? They put the socks right next to it. By the way, is it cheap socks? No. It's the fancy designer socks with the fancy designs. When you get it home, what does the wife say? What are you doing with this? You never wear stuff like this before. And they're in your drawer. It's where they put it. Here's something else. I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but this is fun. So, You also buy based on taste. You remember the old Coke Pepsi taste challenge? Remember that one?
Yep.
It was a marvelous thing. Here's what they found out. Remember they said people that sip the Pepsi, they prefer it over Coke.
They preferred Pepsi over
Over
Coke.
Coke, right? They take the Pepsi challenge. Remember Pepsi challenge? That's what it was called. Yep. And then what happened was the sales went up, but then it went down again.
Why?
Interesting question. Why? Listen to this. At first sip, Pepsi does taste better. But when you drink the whole can, it's too sweet. And you like the Coca-Cola better. And people began to realize that. But, and I know it was a blind taste test, somebody got smart and said, you know what? I'm not going to try the blind taste test. A pollster. He said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to trick people to show them that they really pay attention to brands. So what did they do? Remember, in this particular challenge, Pepsi tasted better. Remember that? Okay. So they actually served people Coca-Cola in the little sip, but they told them it was Pepsi. And guess what?
Right.
People picked the Pepsi because they were told based on what? The advertisement that was stuck into their mind that Pepsi is better. Don't believe me? Men, have you ever bought tires? Women, have you ever bought tires?
No, I
I
know.
want you to imagine this for a moment. There are 4 tires, no brand on it, no nothing. You're staring at them. Can you tell one brand from the other? Nope. If the man tells you that this particular tire is a Michelin tire, would you buy it? Most will. Why? Michelin is the premier brand. Oh, what a great. Really? How do you know that? It's the way they advertised it. Remember the old advertisement? I'm going to kind of bring it back up in your mind for a moment. It was what? A pudgy individual who was charactered as a pure dough white fella, nothing to say with color or anything. And as a result of
The
that,
Michelin guy?
the Michelin guy, what did I say?
I don't know. What are you talking about? Pillsbury?
No, no,
Oh,
no.
Pillsbury.
Yeah, it was almost like the Pillsbury guy. Yes. And then the first advertisement, they had the baby being safe in the car. So all of a sudden, you got this great idea that it was safer. So all in all, what we're beginning to see that the power of suggestion, even if you had absolutely no idea, works for you. Now, what else works for you? The power of instant gratification. I'm going to give you a choice. Would you rather get a $15 discount now or wait 3 weeks for a $20 rebate?
$15 now.
Bingo! There you go. There you go.
I don't like to stand on line. I like instant gratification
You're
now.
not alone, Carol. Everybody wants instant gratification. No question about it. And of course, we all have our rituals. We're coming to the end. I just want to throw a few more at you. We're coming to a ritual. What are rituals? You know that beer Corona? What do you normally have it with? Corona with a?
With a lime.
How did that get started?
I don't know.
It's a very good, talk about rituals. It's a very interesting story. So one time in Seattle, there was a bartender and a friend. This is true. You can look it up. And the friend said to the bartender, I wonder if we can create a ritual. What I'd like you to do, he said to the bartender, is I want you to put a lime. Well, I don't think it was lemon. I thought it was
No,
lime.
it's a lime.
I want you to put a lime right now for the next 2 weeks. Everybody that orders Corona, I'll pay for the lime. And he did. And then all of a sudden, within months, the world became infatuated Corona with a lime. There was a very famous baseball player by the name of Wade Boggs. He won a lot of batting championships. I know people think about him from the New York Mets. Get that out of your mind for a moment. He's in the Hall of Fame. He had a very interesting ritual. He really did. When he got to the plate, he went ahead and did a lot of things. But one of the things that he did was on the bottom every time, what he did is he wrote the Hebrew word chai. For those who are not Jewish, that means
He
life.
wrote it on the bottom.
On the bottom, on the sand with his feet. You know how sometimes baseball
Right.
players do that?
Right.
And he made sure, if I remember right, every morning before a game or something, he only had chicken. He had batting practice at a particular time during the day, and that was his final ritual. Excuse me for a minute. Oh, excuse me. I'm not tired. I did that on purpose. Why? Because people are interesting. I probably made each one of you think about a yawn or begin to feel tired because you are mirroring me. So what does that have to do with retailing? Here we go. Abercrombie and Fitch. What is right in front of Abercrombie and Fitch? Models
Wow,
of a guy and a girl.
mannequin. Yeah.
Mannequins, right? And they are so good looking. Everybody wants to look like them. The moment Abercrombie is Abercrombie, it's not Abercrombie and Fitch, the store that does it. I forget which one. I got the name of the store wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. So everybody sees that I want to look like that. As a matter of fact, they put models in front of the store, real models, not phony models, to have you have the perception I want to look like them. Don't believe me? Here's proof. James Bond. Ladies, how many times have you fantasized about being with James Bond? Don't answer.
Which
How,
James
which James? Yeah, that's a good one. Which James?
Which
That was
James
good. That
Bond?
was the other way. That was good. How many times do you want to be the real with James Bond? Men. How many times has James Bond in a different movie used a different car? The Alfa Romeo way back when, and the BMW Boxer, and all the other cars that they've had. The moment the movies came out, guess what happened to the sales of those cars? Do you think we want to be who we are? Absolutely not. We want to be the way other people are. So today we covered a lot of stuff. Today we said say goodbye to your money because you have absolutely no idea how they're getting rid of it for you. I hope you enjoyed this session. I know I threw a lot at you, and I did that to have fun, to let you know that shopping, you are out of control. Will that ever change? Probably not. Was there a book one time called Subliminal Seduction? Yes. And that goes back in the 1970s. A fellow by the name of Vance Packard wrote it. Some of it had been debunked since then, but the fact that the overall theme totally remains true. Marketing and sales actually depends upon you not being who you are, it's who you want to be. And who do you want to be? Sometimes like other people. And those other people are the models, the spokesperson, the actors or actresses. And with the pricing, with the way they put it on the shelves, with the smell, with the ears, with the walking of the pace, you never knew it before. Now you do. Carol and I certainly hope that you thoroughly enjoyed this session. We thoroughly hope that you brings back memories, and we certainly hope that no matter what you do in life, you enjoy it. And in these particular times, it is important to close by saying the following. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy. My name is Andy Greenberg, and this is
Carol Greenberg.
And thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And no matter what you buy, enjoy it for what it does for you, for your friends, for your family, and for everybody you know. And now, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.